Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? I'm Jenny, and thanks for tuning in as always. Now, today, if you guys are subscribed and you're aware, I'm doing some clairvoyant psychic readings just for you. Now, if you want to ask me a question, make sure you let me know your sign, meaning like your zodiac sign. So if you're like an Aquarius, if you're like a Sagittarius or Virgo or whatever sign you are, let me know your sign. I don't need to know your sun sign and all of that. And be very specific with a question. Like if you ask me, Jenny, what do you see? I'm not going to really answer you because I could give you something that you might already know, that you're like, I wanted to know something else. But so how am I going to know that? So if you want to know a specific question, let me know. Be very specific. And even let me know your first name. If you don't need to give me your full name, like a first name, if you are male or female as well, right? Doesn't matter what gender or anything like that, but I just need to know just so I can give you more clarity and such like that. And I don't know what information is going to come through from spirit ever. Like people say, what do I get in a reading? Well, I'm like, well, I don't know what messages are going to come through from the spirit world. I go with the now. And as we are, chatting and getting in with the talk and such like that, I just automatically start hearing messages coming through. I don't use cards. I don't use tarot cards or cards. However, when I do my weekly Cosmic Vibes video, I will pull a couple of cards because that's more of the collective, what messages for the universe, more collective. But booking a one-on-one reading with me, I never use cards at all because I'm a clairvoyant. I read into your level of consciousness first to see where you're at. And I look at what messages are coming through. If it's a past life reading you need, if it's something that's coming from the spirit world, from one of your ancestors, somebody that has passed on, if it's a loved one, if it's an animal, because I'm also an animal communicator as well. So I talk to the animals that have passed on. And not only just that, I talk to the animals that are here present as well. I mean, I get messages 24/7. You would be really surprised what messages I get coming through at any given time. So that's why I just kind of go with the moment and just say, what messages are coming through? I'm open to receive messages from the spirit world. I don't channel with one specific energy. I mean, I channel and work with the Christ consciousness. However, I get messages from so many different beings, all walks of life, all the time. So when I ask spirit what messages are coming through, I'm open to everyone. Like every energy's up there. What message do you have specifically? Maybe it's a message from your angels. Maybe it's a message from your guide. You don't know. I don't know. So I just kind of go with the flow and see what's coming up right now. So make sure you're very, very specific with what you want to know. Okay, like seriously. So now we already have a question here. So Ellen, nice to see you here. You're a Virgo, perfect. Where do you see me living in the next year or two? Um, well, see, that's kind of an open question, Ellen. However, I am hearing, I don't see you like staying more local, actually. I'm seeing you more so in like a quiet area, like more of a very small community. If it's like more like in the countryside, because I'm seeing more nature around you. Like I'm not seeing you like right in the midst of a city, with a lot of noise and such like that. Because you're like, you know what, I like my peace and tranquility as well. I'm also feeling water energy around you too. So you very well could move around water, like even the background here, right? Like this background here, that's like Vancouver Island. For those of you who, know it a little bit more, right? So you have the ocean, you have the water, you have the mountains. Like for me, this is very peaceful and very quiet. So it's kind of like that energy where there's more peace and quiet for you. So that's kind of like where I'm seeing you. So but I don't see you like where you are now. I don't see you kind of moving to a different neighborhood. I'm seeing you more moving away. So what I would do is really write down where are you drawn to go, like where are you pulled to go. Don't worry about how and the details and everything like that. I do have little concerns as well with what's kind of going on around you. Um, but I'm not going to go into like really, really personal details because it's private. So you can always book more of a one-on-one personal with me, of course, right? Soulworkwithjeni.com. So let me go back here. Let me back it up. So if I miss your question, you guys come back and ask again, right? So I hope that give you a little bit of insight. Jeni, my name is Brenda, female Virgo. Where and when should I move to for the next part of my life? Oh, look at you, Virgos wanting to move, I tell you. But exactly, like Brenda, I'm actually seeing you wanting, I'm seeing you more so like in a, like not out in the middle of an acreage, not in the middle of like here, like I just told Ellen. I'm actually seeing you more like in a community, like a nice community, where you're gonna feel more grounding, where you're gonna feel more of, I want to be more in touch with the earth, not city vibes as well. You could be okay more in the city, but I'm seeing you kind of like in a quiet neighborhood, more so. And you very well might like not move far away. You very well could be like, take a look at like certain areas that are around you. I don't see you like I'm saying moving far away. So you could be like, take a look at your neighborhood, take a look at just different areas that are close by the city. I mean, I don't know where you are, of course, but it's like if you choose like a neighborhood, there's already shopping around there and so. Where if you want a lot of the big shopping, you might have to take a little bit of a drive, but it's not too far. So it's going to be something more quiet. And I'm seeing you downsizing as well, Brenda. So you might have already kind of started doing that as well right now. So I'm more so seeing that with you. So spirit skiing, medical, intuitive. Hi, my first name is Heather. I'm on the cusp of Cancer Gemini. My question is around where should I move, live, if I should stay in the town I am now or in another state. I also see you downsizing as well, and I'm seeing you more so in nature. I don't see you like in a city energy atmosphere. I don't. Um, I'm seeing like hills around you, like mountains and such like that. So you like in the valley. I just heard something about in the valley, something about the valley. Um, this might seem really weird, but I'm seeing wine tasting. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like California. There's something connected with California, but I'm seeing something more quiet as well for you too. You're very intuitive, so really, really pay attention to where you're getting pulled towards. I'm hearing wine. Like I don't know why I'm keep on hearing that. Um, like where you are right now is okay, but I'm really feeling that you're a little bit more restless. Like you're a little bit more restless. You're wanting that change. So you very well could even like downsize a little bit. You very well could be like more on land and like have more land, but kind of downsize the house a little bit. So you could actually move, but it might not be too far away actually as well. So you're going to get pulled to a couple of different places. So just really, like pay attention to that because you might get a little torn. But I do see something more Europe. I don't know why I'm hearing Europe and wine. I don't know why I'm keep on hearing that. I don't know if you're going over there for a vacation or something, but something more with that. Vineyards, wineyards. Um, so tranquility I'm hearing. So yes. Patricia, December 11th, Sagittarius. I have a question on my finances. Should I withdraw our current investments from the market? Yeah. Am I going to find a different job this year? Okay, so what I would do is I would really take a look at your investments. I do see some changes coming there. There's so much flux. For those of you who watched my predictions video for this year, I think that went out in December 2024, January. A lot of what I predicted has come true, and things are happening now as well. So I had also mentioned that there's stock market issues, stock market crashes. There's going to be so much flux and so much changes. So if you're monitoring the stock market right now and you're seeing a huge difference, pull out. Yes, yes. Absolutely. You have to invest in you. You could take money out and put it in a bank, something more so like that, or something where you're feeling more security. But there's going to be so much losses, just due to the political bullshit, to be very blunt. So much is happening. So you got to be very careful right now. I've warned everybody about that quite some time ago. A different job this year, there will be another opportunity coming up for you as well. Yes, which could you might even. I mean, you're okay where you're at, but I'm just feeling that restlessness. If you continue to stay where you're at with your work, I'm just kind of feeling it's not going to flow. There's going to be issues around that. There very well could be something coming up, but I'm hearing distance, distance, distance. If you can get something remote more so, that would be better for you, because you might get something at a long distance away where you might have to move as well. So I hope that helped out. Yuckness, um, I'm not pronouncing that name wrong or right, sorry. Yuck, spirit animal, Aquarius. I'd like to know if there's a spiritual guidance coming for me. If there's a spiritual guidance coming for me, because I have been seeing someone's name and my spirit animals too, which I don't understand. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Costa Rica. I don't know. I just heard that. I don't know. I just heard that. Um, you do have a lot of ancestral spirit animals around you. And you know what? I heard Costa Rica very loudly again, by the way. You know, there you have a lot of different energies with the animals. Yes, the animals are coming forth to you because they have more messages through you. And I'm also hearing, they want more movement from you, to really pay more attention. Dragonflies, I'm seeing a lot of dragonflies around you. Um, and we all have different guides and angelic beings, angelic teams, as I call it. We all do. And sometimes one of our guides makes itself known more so, if it's an angel or a spirit guide or animal guide or whoever it is. So when you're feeling more okay for you, specifically more of an animal guide, your animals want you to be the voice for them. So if you take a look at, there's always abuse and such like that in so many different ways. And if you're seeing and sensing different, you very well could be more involved and get more involved with, being more an activist. So you might get pulled into being more of an animal activist. Like I'm an animal and activist myself, and I deal with it differently with the spirit world on a different level. Um, we call on our spirit animals to go help the other animals and so on and so on. So whenever your dreams might increase more with the spirit world, with the animals too, they want you to really pay attention to different type of, like activist with animals, you know what I mean? Like just different things like that. Voice more of your animals. You do have a lot of energies around you in the animal forest, I'm hearing, animal kingdom, I'm hearing. And I don't know why I'm hearing this, but it's something to do with more creativity with animals. And I'm hearing drawing. That might sound really weird. They want you to be more creative as well. Like be more creative. Um, so pay attention to like write down specific animals that you're here, like a dragonfly, I'm hearing again. Dragonfly, butterfly, certain things with that, with wings are freedom. There's more messages with that too. But it's almost like they want you to have your freedom. So when you're hearing or seeing or getting pulled towards certain animals or seeing one, really pay attention, because your abilities might even open up a little bit more with your communication with the animals, by the way. So, Mystic Road, Mystic Roads, Augie, what's coming in for love? November 25th. So, what I'm hearing right away for you is this is not a year so much about love, right? I do see love, yes. However, what I'm feeling more so for you this year is what you're working on this year. You're going to see more of those results coming in next year because career changes are all around you right now without going into lots of detail. And it's like with this, like career changes you're going in, this is where love is going to come in with it. It's very much connected with that. So more so by the end of this year, take a look at where you're at because you are going to see where you're at then, and you're going to see how that very well could open you up for love, that there's someone more specific coming in for you with your career, as I mentioned. So keep that open and focus more on your career. Like I can elaborate so much more. There's something with that love connection I do have a little bit of concern with. So don't rush into that really quickly. Focus more on yourself right now, right? Because it's like this next person is going to take you to your other person and so on. And Eva, I'm a Gemini. I am going on trips in May and August. Oh, that's really great. It's been years really since I've had a vacation. Do you see romance and dating for me during these trips? I do see a long distance connection. I do hear long distance romance. So if you are going on a trip, let's say specifically to meet somebody, yes, there will be romance. And if you are not going on a trip, let's say to meet somebody specifically, you very well, because I keep on hearing long distance romance for you. So you very well could meet somebody on your vacations, on your trips, and so on and so on. I'm hearing more of a commitment coming in for you, especially this summertime. You're going to find that, June, July, August. So you're actually going at the really good time that new doors are going to open up for you even more so. I'm also hearing that you got to slow down. You got to slow down. You're getting to the point where you're getting really, really burnt out. You got to watch that. Like you really got to watch that. So there's definitely love coming in younger. There'll be an age difference, I'm hearing. So you very well could meet somebody that's older than you or younger than you. But I don't see you meeting somebody around the same age as you. No, no. So don't push anything. Just don't push anything. Because if you try to push something right now with love, it's not going to work out as what you're wanting it to work out. But I do feel somebody around you. Like there's somebody definitely around you for sure. Mystic Road, what's coming in for love? Well, we just talked about that. Okay, so we did that one. Zach, Ontario. I would love to know if my mother and sister are well, loved, safe, and free, and comfort. Like when do you guys get it? Like when somebody passes, like I used to work at the hospice, on call for many years, on and off, and I would see people pass away every year. Because for those who know what a hospice is, people go in there basically to pass away, and one of the biggest concerns of the person that, like the patient that's ill, that's sick, they're more worried about their loved ones how they're going to handle it when they pass on. So they have a tendency at times to stick around a little bit more. But what I'm hearing, Zach, especially for you, by the way, yeah, they're very much around you, is that you're holding a lot of gifts within yourself. You're very intuitive as it is. And I'm really hearing that there's so much potential in you. And I'm hearing a lot of leadership. It's almost like they want you to take that leadership role. And it's like they want you to take that step back. Like I always say, for sometimes when we're feeling, you know what, I don't feel like I'm moving forward. I feel like I'm going backwards. It's almost like when we feel we have to take those 3 steps backwards to re-examine, to reflect, to revamp things for whatever reason, we're actually taking those giant steps forward. You might not feel it or realize it, but I keep on hearing them saying, Zach, you got to believe more in yourself. They're perfectly fine. Yes, absolutely. And I'm hearing something about a car, like something about a car, or like when you're driving or, in a vehicle, let's say, and really pay attention because it's like if you're driving, you very well, and don't shrug it off. You very well could be feeling maybe somebody sitting beside you, because I'm literally feeling somebody touching your shoulder, like your shoulder, and you're going to be like, I don't know, I just kind of, I don't know, that kind of feeling like, yeah, I don't know. That is very much them. Your sister wants you to really embrace your creativity, like really, really embrace your creativity. Like you just have this magic about yourself, like and really believe in yourself. Like listen to that inner child and start having fun. Like don't take life as serious. You know what I mean? Watch those butterflies too, by the way. Like the struggles and such like that, they're really making you stronger. Like we all go through struggles and challenges, and nobody likes to go through challenges and difficulties and struggles. Nobody does. However, your difficulties right now are actually bringing in a huge transformation for you. And this is why I keep on hearing believe in yourself. Start really implementing goals for you, for yourself. Let go of the arguments, let go of the like the fears and the worries. There's so much change, of course, obviously in the world but there's more changes in the world than there has been in over 10,000 years. So there's so much going on. So you have to focus on mainly of you. Like you only have control over yourself. It's like what's going on in the world. All we can do is our part and surrender the rest and let go of it. We have no control because the karma goes back on these so-called crooks and politicians and all of these people that aren't being honest. It's a game, right? So you got to really take care of you. And really everything is going to be okay. But I'm really hearing that just let it go, let it go, let it go. It's like that call upon them. They're very much with you, right? So I hope that gives you I mean, I'm by myself. Like I don't get people handing out, giving me things, this and that. I'm on my own. It's just myself defending on my own. So it's not like I have somebody to give me a hug and say you're going to be okay, or family, or nothing. There's nothing, right? So we all have to take a look and say, you know what do I want in my life? What and how am I going to make that happen? Start setting goals, little ones, big ones. This is a universal 9 year, where set long-term goals for yourself. I've just set another long-term goal myself just a couple of days ago. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? Oh my God, right? But it's like one step at a time, just one step at a time. Deal with your priorities, what needs to be done, and everything else will fall into place. Set goals. Don't worry about how. Distance from negative people and everybody like that. Who you surround yourself with is who you become. Right? So everything's going to be okay. Just hang in there, like really hang in there, you guys. Like literally this super new moon. You guys, I don't know if you watch my Cosmic Vibes videos or not. The new one just went up on the Taurus super new moon. This is huge. Like you guys might be feeling all over the place. This is a week where you have to confront difficult situations, you know? Like if we start ignoring situations that are important or our priorities, it's going to catch up with you in a rude awakening. This is the time to take it. This is why exactly yesterday or 2 days ago I had to make change with something. And I'm like, the only way you're going to be able to get there or to do this is to start this or to do research on this or that, because you can't sit around depending or waiting on anybody else to help you, because you got to start it on your own. You can reach out in time and connect to different people to help work with you in that, but you got to get it going on your own, right? So take this energy right now and utilize it to work with you. Baby steps, for gosh sakes, baby steps. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, oh my God. But I'm like, just put the fear away, right? This is the key. That's the key, you guys, right? Um, Yakna, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry. Pisces, I'd like to know more about the spiritual guidance or messages coming in from spiritual teams. Something weird is happening with seeing a person's name. Yeah, like whenever you're seeing, like I get messages 24/7. Like you would be surprised what I hear and what I see, right? Like you would be really surprised. I get names being given to me. I even had, somebody in my come to me in a dream and told me the name of the person I would marry, first and last name. And I'm like, what? It doesn't mean that, and he's like a famous actor. It doesn't mean that I'm going to marry this person, right? It very well could be mean you could be meeting somebody of this very similar, which will be potential. I know a lot of different people in the film industry and television industry and stuff like that, right? But it doesn't mean that that person's name. There could be qualifications. They're very well, more so. So when you're hearing a name, write it down. Like when you guys wake up, right? And you're having a dream, like really pay attention to your dreams. I mentioned that in my Cosmic Vibes video. Write it down. Keep a dream journal. Write down what you remember in your dream. Every single detail, like if it was a male or female, where were you, what was being said, what was being shown, how did you feel, all of those things. Write it down in detail, because when you're seeing a name, there very well could be more of a significance with that name. Like whenever I'm doing a reading and such like that, sometimes, or a lot of times actually, I'm like, I start getting a name coming through. All of a sudden, I might be like, who's Doug or who's Jane or who, like, and so on. And you might connect with that right away, or you might be like, I'm not sure. I'm like, write it down, because there could be more significance with that name coming up for you more significantly. It's not like you're going to go to the store and the cashier's name is Bob, right? Could be, but this is more significant. So write it down, because you're very intuitive. So the spirit world is trying to get your intention in like your attention more so by sending you different signs from the spirit world. You might not understand it or anything like that. That doesn't matter right now. Keep a journal. Like what I used to do. Like now I can catch on right away. But what I used to do is I used to write down like how my day went. Where was I? What was I doing? Who was I with? And I would write down. So if I was with someone, I would write down, how did I feel when I'm with that person? Was I happy? Were things great? Or, oh my God, like this just isn't working. So write down all those details, write the date down, write down how your emotions were, how you were feeling. And then you can go back and reflect on those days. Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? And then you're going to see patterns of, okay, I'm with this person. And why is it every time I'm with this person, I have to feel or I have to walk on eggshells? Those aren't your people. When you're with the right people, you can be yourself. If you're feeling, and I don't know about this, write it down. You're working through it. So the spirit world, there's so many ways that's going to happen. I'm going to be putting, things together to help, more, another project, but I'm not even going to go there right now with that, right? But it's like really pay attention with that, because spirit's always trying to get our attention. Like literally, I can tell you 100 million ways of the signs I get. I like a physical sign, right? So if you guys want more of a physical sign, so if I were you, yeah, now I would say, okay, this is the name I'm seeing. And I would say to spirit, I just say, spirit, okay, so you're giving me the name of Bob, just as an example. So I want a physical sign of why that name specifically. Why that name? I want a physical sign. When you're saying a physical sign, you very well could get a phone call from a person named that, or that person that you meet. Maybe they're going to become somebody very, very important, or maybe that's a warning from the spirit world saying, you know what, when you meet this person with that name, really listen to your intuition, because that could be very dangerous. That could be very karmic. So really pay attention to that, you guys. Don't dismiss the signs from the universe. Just work it through, like work it through. Like I had people say, well, I had a dream that, you know, I was going to meet the person named Bob, let's say. So you go searching around for the name Bob. You're like, oh my God, I just met this guy named Bob. That's my soulmate. That's my person. I'll be like, okay, hold on right now. It doesn't mean that's your soulmate. That person could be really bad for you. Or maybe that person could help you get a job. Like, so be very careful. Just write it down. Keep track, and you guys can go back and take a look at the date. I had this dream on this date. This is what happened. And wow, that's what happened to me. Oh my gosh. Yes. Right. But there's a lot more messages in that. Like, that's why when somebody books a personal one-on-one reading with me, I will give you the specific details of the messages. This is exactly what's going on. This is why this happened, right? They're very detailed. My readings are very detailed. So I hope that helped a little bit. And I am doing, okay, we just talked about that, romance. Spirit, skiing, we just talked about that. Nori, February 11th. Oh, Nori, Aquarius baby. Is there a move? Is there a move for work opportunities? I'm literally hearing that there is this creative energy and creative vibe. I'm seeing butterflies, like literally butterflies. So I don't know if you've seen any butterflies around you. Butterflies are, of course, transformation, but I'm just really I'm seeing butterflies in the fields, running through the fields with butterflies and such like that. I would really kind of take, I do see a move. I mean, you could stay there for a while. Don't rush anything right now. Like, don't rush anything right now. Just really start writing down as well where you're drawn to be. What are you really, the manifesting, right? All of those things, be very specific and detailed where you want. There is going to be an opportunity coming up for you, yes, but you have to know what you want. Like, we can dabble. It's almost like you're dabbling in too many different things, and you're like, nothing's working, or like, because you're involved with too many things. You have to take that step back and say, you know what, who am I? Like, what do I want? Like, what work do I want to do? Because we're all gifted, we all have abilities and talents, and all of that, we all do. However, when we have a specific skill that we know we're really good at, you know, that calling can open up new opportunities with you when you own it, right? That nurse within. There's so many different opportunities. I mean, I'm seeing elderly people around you. It's almost like you're visiting like elderly people, or people that are like a hospice. You know how I worked on call at a hospice for many years, on call, on and off, and helping helping everybody and all of these kinds of things. It's almost like I'm seeing you in there, talking to people, helping them, holding their hand, and that loving energy and healing. Because there's people who are by themselves. Like, of course, you would know that. Like, there's people who are ill in hospitals, facilities, um, nursing homes, all those places, and they're alone. They have the staff, but they don't have family there. And even if they did have family, or, the staff, they're still feeling alone. And all it takes is for someone just to come in there, very loving, very understanding, And at that second, you really healed them, and you it's not like you put their hands on them and heal them. No, right? It's almost like just your presence being there can make a huge impact on that person. So when they pass, they're feeling more peaceful. So think about that, right? Think about that. But when you're dabbling in way too many different things that just doesn't really resonate with you anymore, or you're doing things just because, it's not going to fly. It won't. So I hope that gave you a little insight. Mega October, Vedic, I love Vedic astrology. I dabble in Vedic astrology, but I can't do charts or anything like that. I haven't had time to go further into that, but I prefer Vedic astrology. It's so much more accurate. Western astrology is like, 75, 80%, but Vedic astrology, you have to know like your time of birth, right? Like I don't know the time of birth or like my time I was born, right? So accurate. But anyways, hi Jeni. Please guide in terms of my career. Should I pursue higher education? Um, I'm literally hearing, yeah, like I would pursue, you have to be very passionate about it. If we start working or studying something we're not passionate about, it's not going to make a difference. Yes, we can learn a skill, get a job from it, and make money. I get, of course. However, if you're not truly passionate about it, you're not going to be happy, right? Um, I'm literally hearing for you, it's almost like US bound. Um, hmm, I don't know. There's just something really off with that, to be very honest with you. I hear Australia. I don't know why that's coming in for some reason. I literally heard Australia 3 times. So what I would do before rushing into anything is I would actually be very honest with yourself and take a look at, okay, what is it that I truly want? Start writing it down, really writing it down on paper. When we write it down on paper, we're actually seeing, when I have big decisions to make, it's like the mind can be too busy overthinking. So I'm like, okay, let me write down the pros and the cons. And I have to be very honest, right? And then you look at it, and that's when you see a reality, right? I'm hearing, I'm feeling water, I'm feeling warmer climate, tropical, more so with you, warmer climate. I do see you studying, absolutely, yes. And that could open up new doors for you, especially to move to, by the way. But I'm not feeling it as US bound for some reason. You could um, do that. But what you have to do and have to look at is, where do you want to be? Like if you're like, okay, I'm going to stay in the US, or I'm going to move to the US, let's say, take a look at, where do you want to be? Like, where do you want to be? Take a look and do the research with things. Like something I've just had to start, I had to order something because I'm like, you have no choice, Jeni. The only way you're going to get this done is to order it and learn it on your own. That's it. That's the only way, right? And then you can reach out for help through this that you're looking at with something different. You know what I mean? But if you're not sure the direction, you have to know the direction before you really get involved with it. Because if not, you could be like, oh, I don't know about this, right? And I keep on hearing, it's almost like there's the book you're studying and then there's a delay, that then something happens, roadblocks, roadblocks, roadblocks. So just kind of really look at that in the meantime, right? Michelle Torres, will there be new money income for me? I need financial independence to be more true to myself and love. Well, you're very creative, Michelle. You're very creative. I am hearing that creative talents will pay off for you right away. Like right away, creativity slash talent, exactly what you're wanting. But it's got to be something that you're very talented about as well. You kind of have that caring for humanity as well. You are intuitive. Um, you got a distance away too, by the way. It's almost like drama. Do you know what I mean? Like drama, negative energies, all of those kinds of stuff. There's a lot around you that right now with that. And You know, like with me, let's say I'm always working on something, projects, big one going to happen now for me, but and if when somebody says, "What are you working on, Jeni?" Just stuff. I never give out any more information ever, ever. Not. I learned my lesson. What are you working on? Stuff. That's it. Because what happens is when you start giving out information of what you want to do to certain people, if somebody's negative about it, they could say something to you that can stop you right in your tracks to pursue that, no matter what it is, that goal, that class, like whatever it is. So this is the time for you to really kind of, you got to do more soul searching within, right? Something with animals with you. There's something with animals with you. Like really follow your passion, what you're really passionate of. I've always said when you follow your passions, new doors open up for you, new opportunities come for you. Like I do photography on the side, and believe me, that doors have opened for me in many different ways. The people I've met, like, oh my gosh, like wow, you know, it's expanding all of, and it's just really a hobby for me, honestly, right? But it's because I'm very passionate about it. I'm not no perfect or professional, no, right? However, when you follow what you're really passionate about, that's your soul saying, we're with you. You know, we all have our own path and interest and all of that. And especially right now, you guys, with this super new moon in Taurus, of course, really take advantage of this. It could get really, really emotional. This is about confronting difficulties. Like it's during certain times. Like I hope you're subscribed to my channel watching the Cosmic Vibes, because I will tell you every single day what days to utilize this, what to expect, what's coming up. You know, that's why it's like I knew that the Taurus new moon was coming in, and I've been hearing this calling a long time for a long time. And I'm like, okay, Jeni, you have to do this. You just have to start this. You have to like all of these things. Is it going to be difficult and challenging? Yes. However, it's when you utilize this and take advantage of these energies, the energy will work with you, right? For every problem, there's a solution. So follow this, you guys. Really get on it. Set your intentions really super duper high right now. Super new moon is double the energy of a new moon. New moon, new beginnings. But this is a huge, huge new beginning right now. So, and it's also time to slow down, and you're going to see how and understand why things are happening the way they are, even more so. Right. But you got to be true to yourself. Like my attitude is this is me. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to change for anybody. Why would I? Like, why would I change to be somebody I'm not? For what reason? Is I'm not going to be happy and it's going to crash down. When you are not being authentic, it's going to crash. It's not going to work out at all because you're not at that vibrational frequency. When you're being authentic, things will keep moving forward and new doors will open and so on and so on. Right? So you got to stay true to who you are always, no matter what. You know, it's like, well, there's going to be people that are going to like you. There's going to be people that are not going to like you. I never worry about that ever, ever. Your right people will be with you. Your right people will come around you. All of those things, right? Hazel will have surgery April 30th. Okay. 28th of November. I hope you're, is this the same person? Hazel will have surgery April 30th. I hope you're doing well. What do you intend for me professionally in the next 2 months? Okay, so I don't know if Hazel is different than this other person. So Hazel, you're having surgery on April 30th. We'll just say that surrender it, vision yourself, being healthy, vision yourself, you know, be optimistic, all of those things, stay positive. And so I'm hearing angelic teams are very much around you, by the way, very much around you. You can probably feel my grandmother's name was Hazel. I was very, very close with my grandmother, very close with her. She lived in Colorado. She's from Boulder, Colorado. So I lived in Colorado Springs, you know, another story. And right underneath it, we got Colorado. Oh, how interesting. So Berkshire Hathaway, Breckenridge, Colorado. How beautiful Breckenridge. Um, November 20th. I hope you're doing well. What do you into for me professionally in the next 2 months? Okay, so this is separate. So I am hearing that you know, don't push anything. Don't push, force anything. Don't do that. It's almost like I'm hearing you need to start really facing things, really start facing things, believing in yourself. And there is also something that you might really pay attention to, because I'm literally seeing books. And when I'm seeing books, I'm even hearing that you very well could start learning something. Networking, I'm also hearing, really pay attention to networking, really pay attention to um, different opportunities that are coming for you to network more for some reason. Um, because it's almost like networking, when we start networking, of course, we meet new people and new opportunities come to us, new doors open and everything like that. But I'm literally seeing you like learning something more with what you're doing right now, and you're going to be like, yeah, I just kind of need to talk this up a little bit more. Um, and then things are just going to start to open. I'm hearing vineyard again. I'm hearing vineyard for you too for some reason. Vineyards, vineyards, vine/vineyards. Don't know why. So right now, what is this? This is God, we're moving into May, June. So you're on the right track, but I do kind of feel that roadblock is hit in a way. That's the time to not give up. This is the time to reflect, really go over everything because it's almost like there's a missing key with something. So it very well could be more networking. Pay attention to like what industry you're in, let's say, pay attention to what is going on in that industry, get more involved with it, but not just where you're at, like other locations, distances, and so on, because something's going to come up that's going to spark your attention. So hang in there. Things will start working. Things come together at divine timing, and because of so much political stuff, going into details, don't get me started. um, because of so much political issues, there's a lot of mistrust right now in the world. There's a lot of mistrust. There's a lot of obvious corruption. No surprise, that's going to be coming out more and more and more. So more people are kind of getting a little bit more nervous with their finances, investments, with their jobs, with all kinds of things, right? So this is why it's like you have to focus more on yourself and really take a look at, okay, let me kind of go around the cookie counters type thing. Let me kind of go this way. So if there's a roadblock that way, I'm going to go that way, and really start opening up, because it's almost like there's different people that are in similar situations. And it's almost like putting all of your heads together, because the more people kind of you're around, the more creativity opens. So yeah. Zach, there we go. What a fantastic read. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Zach. You're very, very, very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Um, Nori, have been seeing butterflies. Oh, cool. There you go. There's your confirmation. I didn't know that. But yeah, like there, I'm glad you guys are saying that, because there's your confirmations, right? I mean, if you guys want more of a detailed, specific reading, you can book with me privately, soulworkwithjeni.com, because I give huge details, like a lot of details, and it's more specifically between you and me, because I do hold back. Um, when I'm live or on social media, because it's personal, it's private. Of course I would, of course I would. Right. So there you go. Jen, hi, Jen. Oh, hi, Jen. November 23rd. Where is the best place stayed for water? I just heard water right away for you. It's like water for you is, I mean, you could live anywhere, right? You have that energy where you could really fit in anywhere. However, I'm also hearing this sensitivity within you. You're very, 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 very intuitive, by the way. I just see water, like, how this background here, like I love this background. Like I didn't move to Vancouver Island. I was I was going there 100 million times. Long story, but I love it. Look how beautiful that is. Like that for me, that's like more me. That's more me, my style, quiet nature. I'm not a city person, never have been. Um, but I'm literally hearing water. You know, like if being in Texas, you could stay in Texas, but I don't see you staying where you are. I don't see that. I do see you know what though, you very well could find like really start writing down what you want, exactly what you want for a move, be very specific, right? Don't worry about when or how, because you very well could stay in Texas, let's say, and just move like to a different like location altogether. Of course, every state, province, whatever, it's big. But I'm seeing water, like just kind of water, countryside, more quiet area. I don't see city vibes around, communities and such. So yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, like right now, Michelle, Hazel is my 10-year-old Bernese mountain dog. Oh God. Oh, you should have said that. I'm an animal communicator. Oh, I love dogs. I love dogs. I will, you know what? I absolutely, on April 30th, I will send I will send Hazel some vibes. I will have my angelic team come around Hazel for you. You know, um, I do see some issues, but she's not ready to go, right? Like you're gonna know, you'll feel it, but she very well could be sticking around you for a while longer. She has a tumor on, oh, I should read the whole thing. She has a tumor on her lower, can't read that, jaw, I think, or I don't know why yeah, on her lower jaw. She will have surgery for it on April 30th. Yeah, they'll remove it and do all this kind of, it's almost like it's like, I mean, I just literally wanted to drink a lot of water. Yeah, they'll obviously, of course, remove it and such like that. And of course they might say, she might need some treatments after that, blah, 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 all of that kind of stuff. She could be around for a while. Like she very well could be around for a while. You know what I mean? But I will absolutely 1000% send her some energy. 1000% send her some energy. And it's I mean, I literally will, like what time is it at? Like we're about like let me know like what state you're in or what mountain time or standard or eastern. And I actually will literally go around here on that time, like April 30th. When is April 30th? What's it? Today's the 26th. Never know what day it is anymore. So April 30th, what day is that? The 26th is Saturday. What is that? A Tuesday, Wednesday? So let me know the time, the state, like whatever time mount, like wherever, Eastern, whatever, and the date, the 30th of April. That's a Thursday, I think, or no, that's a Wednesday, I think. So let me know what time, like let me know what time, like is her surgery, right? Because I've done that. I've done that before with animals if I know the time. And you also too, by the way, you also have this energy, you have this healing ability too, by the way. So no wonder I heard animals around you, Michelle. Like, no wonder, goodness sakes, right? Yeah, let me know. Like, okay, so hey, CST, she goes in at 7 a.m. Central. I think you're an hour ahead of me, actually, because right now here, Central Time. Okay, so I'm gonna actually write that down. I'm gonna write that down. Let me write this down, you guys. Hang on. Where's my, sorry. Let me write this down because I do things like this for animals. Okay, so April 30th, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, Hazel, surgery. She's such a trooper, by the way. She's such a strong trooper. So I've actually written it down right here on my little thing. And I'm gonna put that right here, right in front of me. So I will definitely be around her. That I'm up that time anyways. I'm up early And I will definitely also be around with her and ask my angelic team. I mean, even my little dog, Bella, for those of you who knew Bella, she actually saved my life. By the way, it's a long story, but um, she was the one that pointed out something when she was alive to me, and it happened. So if it wasn't for her, I very well would have ignored that, and it could have been very. I might not be here today. Let's put it that way. So this is why it's like our animals are really, really, they're with us for many reasons. They are, and even when they passed on, even when my dog Bella passed on, I'm like, you know what? You're still hanging out by that spot, and that's where the surgeon they removed it, right? So our animals are with us, of course, even when they pass on, they're very much with us, and in many different ways. They're like, blessings. They're, if you look at dog spelled backwards is God. So, there's reasons why even another puppy I'm looking at, just to give you guys kind of a little update. Um, my one of my friends, she was also an animal communicator, and she had passed, and it wasn't too long ago. She was literally standing in front of me, not in a dream, but literally standing in front of me. And she was holding this little puppy, and I looked, and she's told the puppy, that's going to be your next mom. And then all of a sudden, the puppy locked eyes with me. We locked eyes together as one. And the puppy was like, oh my God, he just wanted to run to me. And Linda, she says, no, it's not the right time. And that's actually the puppy that I've been looking at getting, at the right timing. And, so this is how cool, your animals know they're coming to you even before they're born. If it's a rescue, if it's like in many different ways. So now if you guys want to book a private reading, like with me, I will actually put my website right here in the column as well. Because it'll be more very, very detailed reading, of course, just you and I. And, if you're subscribing to my channel, you're going to get like weekly updates, like the cosmic vibes videos and so on and so on and so on. And it does help you understand why things are happening to you, on the specific days. Like I literally will be like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to do that that day. That's not the day. Or I will purposely do things like that eclipse that happened in March. For those of you guys, take a look at March. That's a lot happened during that month. So I purposely booked all of my really challenging appointments, for myself personally that I had to deal with in March on purpose, because I knew that the eclipse energy would work with me. If I ignored those challenges and those appointments, oh, all hell would have broke loose, I can tell you. So this is the same this week, by the way, you guys, with this Taurus new moon. Watch the video that just went up. Taurus new moon, it's a difficult week or facing difficulties or something. Watch that. And you can go back and watch the other videos, because it helps you set and make plans. Like the energy right now is so super high to manifest. It's huge. So your sleep is really going to be off, like really, it's like, why am I getting up during the night, or why am I getting up so early? Because the energy is really powerful. So really drink a lot more water right now. We have a lot of solar flares and solar, storms and such like that. And that is so powerful. It creates earthquakes. I've even predicted one of the earthquakes that just happened on my prediction video. I think it was, I heard about it or something. I don't really watch the news, but somebody told me about it just recently. So these energies are really powerful. It affects everyone and our animals as well. So when your animals aren't well, pay attention to them, especially around the new moon, full moon, all of those kinds of stuff, right? Monitor them and stuff. And if you have concerns, take them into the vet, of course, because they're very sensitive. They're trying to tell you something, right? Or some of them could act really, it affects their nervous system. It affects our nervous system as well. So this energy right now with Taurus is more grounding. You're going to want to be more grounded. Like I have a lot of crystals on right now, Believe me, I do. One of them is hematite. Hematite is very grounding. So when you're kind of feeling ungrounded, go for a walk in Mother Nature, like quiet. Don't go to a busy location like a mall or somewhere. Go like for a walk, a hike, a swim, things like that. And you're going to get those messages coming through even loud, even more and more and more. We're all intuitive if you pay attention and are open to it. So please subscribe to my channel, you guys. Like let me know if you're liking the videos and so on. I mentioned that with my Cosmic Vibes video, if you guys are even enjoying them or not, right? Let me know what's going on with you guys, right? And if you do want to book a reading, soulworkwithjenny.com, and I'll get you booked in and such like that. And then you and I will personally have a private one-on-one, just you and I, with a lot more details. So thanks everyone for tuning in and joining me here. I'm always very grateful. And thanks, Mac, for allowing this to happen and so on. I'm not a tech person by any means, right? So, this is really, really powerful, you guys. Take advantage of the super new moon energy right now. Like, really, really utilize this. This is a week to start really implementing even more and more future plans, long-term plans, right? I'm going to be adding on another long-term plan again. Oh my goodness. But none of that matters. Life goes on, life goes on, life goes on. Things happen for a reason. I had to turn down a huge television job. Oh my God, for reasons, right? But it's like opportunities open at any given time. They'll come to you when you're being authentic, when you're being real. So thanks again, everyone. And I wish you guys all the best. So until next time, namaste.